Hi, and welcome to my video. I'm recording this in June of 2024 using Audacity version 3.4.2. It's a previous version, so if you notice any differences and you're on the latest version as of June, that's because I have some plugins that I'm using in Audacity that are not up to date and have not been updated for the current version of Audacity. But everything else is pretty much the same. These features that I'm showing are going to be, they're just standard features that have been around for a while. Anyway, I'm going to show you three techniques. One is going to be, I'm going to be trimming some audio down. I'm going to be inserting some silence into some audio where some dialogue was spoken, but there needed to be some gaps put in there. We're also going to be separating some stereo tracks into individual tracks so that we can apply an effect called Tremolo and change the audio such that the audio moves slowly back and forth between the left speaker or headphone and then over to the right speaker or headphone. So here we go. As you see, I have two tracks of stereo audio that are on the screen here. The first one is the dialogue, and I don't need all of this. There's about 28 minutes of it, so I'm gonna delete all of this, but about 2 minutes of it. And then for this one, I only need about 4 minutes of this. So I'm gonna go down here to about 4 minutes, and I'm gonna delete all of this. And let's get everything back out here, and let's zoom back out and look at the rest, what we have left. Okay, so we have about 2 minutes on the bottom and about 4 minutes, 2 minutes on the top, 4 minutes on the bottom. The next thing I want to do is I want to add some 10-second gaps in a few places here. Let me zoom in just a little bit. And I'm going to place some 10-second gaps. For example, I want a 10-second gap right in here. So I'm going to go to Generate, Silence. And in here is where you select the number of hours, minutes, or seconds that you want to add. So I want to add about 10 seconds right here. So I've already got 10 seconds put in here. This is 10, and there's a dot here, and then you can add fractions of a second also. So I'm going to click Generate, and you'll see a big gap added in here. And then I'll put another one in here, for example. Generate, Silence, Generate, and we get another gap there. And let's say, for example, I wanted to add another 10 seconds here, Generate, Silence, Generate, and it just puts in some gaps there. All right, so that was step one, adding in some gaps wherever you need them. I'm going to put one more in here as a matter of fact, just for the heck of it. All right. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is I have this stereo channel down here. I've got a stereo channel, a stereo track with two channels on it, left and right. But I need to separate these because I'm gonna do an effect on each of the channels, the left and right channel. So I'm gonna right click on this and I'm gonna hit Split Stereo Track. And what that does is that makes two individual stereo tracks of this audio. Let me stretch these out a little bit and show you what Audacity has done. So it's taken this first track, it's made it its own separate mono track, and it has moved the slider all the way over to the left, meaning that this is going to represent the left channel of this track. And then this one this is the other track. This is the other channel, and it's already got its slider already slid over so that this audio comes out of the right channel, the right headphone or the right speaker of your sound system. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to do this effect to make the audio actually go louder and softer in the individual tracks alternately, like every 5 to 10 seconds or so, and so that it gives you this kind of like swaying effect. So let's do this on the left channel here. So this is the left channel. So we're going to go up here to Effect, and we're going to the Distortion and Modulation. That's if you have your effects grouped up. You have all these groups here. If you don't have them grouped up, then you just have to go through and find Tremolo. Okay, And Tremolo gives you 4 options. It gives you the waveform type, which by default it chooses a sine wave, which is a kind of a soft, wavy sine here. But you can also select triangle, sawtooth, inverse sawtooth, or square wave. We're just going to stick with sine wave, but that's the most common. And then the starting phase is we're going to start this. Let's just put 0 in here. And what that's going to do is that's going to start at 0 and just bring the volume up and then bring it back down. The wet level percent is how much of a percentage it's going to make the audio come down. So you can make the audio come down 75%, where it leaves just 25% of the audio always there and brings it back up. Or you could set it to 100%, where it brings the audio completely down to 0 and then have it go back up. I'm going to set it to 75 for this experiment, and then we're going to change it to 100 to show you the difference. And then the frequency is how fast it does it. So if you set this to 1, it's going to do it every 1 second, and that's too fast. That's from left to right to left to right. That's a little too fast. Even 0.1 or once every 10 seconds can be a little bit fast too. Here's what I'll do. I'll set this to 1, and we'll take a look at that. And then we'll come back and we'll change the wet level to 100%, and we'll change the frequency to be even slower. But let's go ahead and take sine wave. We're going to start the phase at 0 for the left channel, and the wet level is going to be 75%, and the frequency is going to be 0.1. So watch this. So see how the waveform here is going, it's going like every 10 seconds or so it's going to change. It's going to go from 0 and then to here in about 10 seconds. All right, so we'll do the same thing with the other channel. The only thing we need to change on this is the effect, distortion, tremolo. We just need to change the starting phase to make it out of phase. So we just change it to -180 and click apply. Now what happens is, if you look closely, when this one is on, this one is off, and when this one's on, this one's off. But these are going to be changing kind of fast. So let's go ahead and solo this and this together, and we'll just kind of listen to them. Oh, also, if you don't have good speakers that are separated and have good stereo separation, you may want to put some headphones in your ears so that you can actually hear the sound going from left to right. If you have desktop speakers that don't have good separation or are close to each other, like right in front of you, you're probably not going to hear this effect that well. So that's just a little tip. And if you look at the level meters up here, you'll see the levels moving from left to right at the top of the screen here. But you notice the audio is not going completely out, it's just subtly moving from the left to the right channel. All right, now I'm going to stop that. I'm going to undo what I've done. And then I'm going to do this with the other settings. So let's do this with effect, distortion, tremolo. And we're going to put more of an effect on this. We're going to have this, we can set this one back to 0. And we're going to make this 100%. So we're going to make the audio go completely out when it's out, and then it's going to come back. And then we're going to make this run a little bit slower. So we're going to have this number to 0.5. Okay, and we click apply. And you notice the bumps are a little longer now. They're not happening every 10 seconds. They're happening every 20 seconds or so here. But notice the audio also is going completely out. You see almost you see 0 right here where my cursor is pointing. So let's do the other channel. Effect, distortion, tremolo. And only thing we have to change is the phase here. We change this to 180 or negative 180. And so now when this one comes on, this one's out. Then when this one comes on, this one's off. And so what happened, and it's doing a little bit slower now. So the effect is going to be very subtle. It's going to be going in one ear, and then that ear is going to come off, and then the other ear is going to turn on. So let's listen to this. So I'm going to mute this track and keep these going. All right. And watch the level meters now. You'll see the level meters go completely to zero now when that track is off. See how it goes to zero now? Then it comes back, and then the other track travels down to zero. See the left track going out now? So that's the effect that I wanted to show you today. I think it's a really cool effect. I was using this with a relaxation slash hypnosis. Talk, some dialogue there. I'm not going to play that dialogue, but you kind of get the idea of how what this is for and how it works. But I hope you guys like this technique, and if you need it for anything. That's how you do the tremolo audio effect of moving the audio back and forth. You split your stereo track, and then you select your track, and then you apply the tremolo effect with a sine wave or whatever waveform you want, and how much amplitude you want it to go in and out, and what frequency you want it to change at. I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you liked the video, give me a thumbs up on it. If you have comments or suggestions how I can improve this technique, put that in there also, and if the suggestion is great, I'll just redo the video and use your technique. So thank you for watching, and have a good day.